shall discuss about the coordination compounds or complex salts. So what are coordination compounds? Those compounds which are formed by coordinate covalent bond are called coordination compounds. So before that, we should know the types of the salts. One is simple salt, double salts, and one more is what? Complex salts. So now the example for simple salt is sodium chloride, barium chloride, potassium nitrate, etc. So the example for double salt, KCl MgCl2 6H2O, that is called cornellite. Okay. So we know that potassium is K2SO4, Al2SO4 thrice, 24H2O, etc. Then the complex salts example, CuNH3 cuprammonium sulfate, CuNH3 4 times, SO4 cuprammonium sulfate, potassium ferrocyanide, K4FeCN6, potassium ferrocyanide, etc. You see. So, what are simple salts? Those salts which are made up of by only one cation and one anion. One cation and one anion, then those salts are called simple salts. Or those salts can dissociate to form one cation and one anion. Example, NaCl there, it can dissociate to form Na plus and Cl minus in aqueous medium. Or barium chloride there, it can dissociate to form BaCl2 can dissociate to form Ba2 plus 2Cl minus. Then, if you come for double salts, so what are double salts? Made up of by two simple salts, KCl, MgCl2. KCl is an simple salt, MgCl2 is an what? Simple salt. Okay. So here potassium there. Okay. So potassium which is made up of by potassium sulfate, one simple salt, aluminum sulfate, another simple salt. You see, what is the difference between those two? We should not mean, so double salt is a mixture of our two simple salt. Here, double salt is nothing but one which dissociate to form cation and anion. So among them, two cations should be there, and one anion should be there. Example, in case of potassium, it can dissociate to form 2K plus SO4 2 minus. Okay, and then Al2SO4 thrice it becomes what? Al3 plus SO4 2 minus. You see, two different cations are there. One type of what anion is there, then those salts are called double salts. Double salt is nothing but made up of by two simple salt. In that two different cations should be there and only one type of hot anion should be there, then those salts are called double salts. Now we'll go for complex salt. What is complex salt? The complex salt mean it should have at least one complex ion. Means the cuprammonium sulfate which is added to the water, then it can dissociate to form CuNH3 4 times 2 plus cuproammonium ion, and then one more species, that is what, SO4 2 minus. Here we are not getting two simple ions, we are getting an what, one complex ion. Those salts can dissociate to form at least one complex ion, then those salts are called complex salts. Here also, in case of what, potassium ferrocyanide, it can dissociate to form K plus FeCN6 4 minus. So potassium ion is there and then ferrocyanide ion is there. Okay, then that salt is called complex salt. Those salts which can dissociate to form at least one complex ion. Ferrocyanide ion is an what? Complex ion. Here cuproammonium ion is an complex ion. Now we will go for what is complex ion. So what is complex ion? We know that cuproammonium sulfate CuNH3 4 times SO4. This is a complex salt. It can dissociate to form CuNH3 4 times 2 plus SO4 2 minus. Those salts which can dissociate to form at least one complex ion, then those complex salts are called coordination compounds, or those salts are called complex salts. What is complex ion? This is an what, complex ion. What is complex ion? Complex ion is made up of by central metal atom or metal ion, surrounded by ligands. So you see, in case of cuproammonium ion, it is a complex ion. In that center metal atom, that is what, Cu, that is in the form of what, +2 state. Ammonia molecule, 4 ammonia molecules are there. So those molecules are called ligands. So that metal ion is surrounded by ligands here. How many ligands are there? 4 ligands are surrounded the center metal ion. Okay. So these substances, ammonia is called ligand anta kariತೀವಿ. I mean, ligand is a substance, one which can donate a pair of electrons. One which donate a pair of electrons to the center metal atom, that is called ligand. Or we may also called Lewis base. We know that Lewis base is nothing but electron pair donor. Here ligand it acts as what, electron pair donor. One which donate a pair of electron to the center metal ion, that ion or the species is called ligand. That cuproammonium ion is called transition element. I mean what, it is a metal ion. So the metal ion which is surrounded by ligands, then that ion is called complex ion. So the charge on the complex ion is 2 plus here. Why it is 2 plus? There are 4 ammonia molecules are there. They are neutral molecules, does not exhibit any charge, but metal ion is there. That metal ion having 2 plus. The charge on the complex ion, it depends upon the sum of charge on metal ion and ligands. By adding the charge on complex ion and the ligand, that is the charge on the complex ion. Okay. So now what is complex ion? Complex ion is nothing but which is made up of by metal ion, center metal ion or atom surrounded by ligands. Sometimes we may call center metal atom when, in case of what, neutral complex salt, that is nickel tetracarbonyl there, nickel Ni tetracarbonyl, it is an what, neutral complex salt. So here the charge on carbonyl group is what, 0. The total charge on that complex salt is 0, hence the charge on the nickel should be 0. Therefore Ni is there which is surrounded by, so 4 carbonyl group. Okay, there are 4 carbonyl groups are there which are surrounded the metal atom in tetrahedrally. Okay, so this is called complex salt, but it is neutral complex salt. Why? The charge on that complex should be 0. Here the charge on the central metal atom is 0, then charge on the all the ligands is 0, then total charge on the complex salt should be 0. This is called central metal atom. So here this is metal ion. Therefore, complex ion is nothing but having an central metal atom or ion surrounded by ligands. Now, what is ligand? Ligand is a substance. Ligand is a substance which can donate a pair of electrons, which can donate at least one pair of electrons. So here you see some ligands can donate one pair of electron, they are called monodentate ligands. Some are donating two pair of electrons, then they are called bidentate ligand. So like that they can donate on one or more than that. Hence those substances we may call it as what? Ligands. Ligand is a substance which can donate at least one pair of electron, then it is called ligand. Now the complex salts are of three types. One is cationic complex salt, cationic complex salts. Anionic complex salts, anionic complex salts, and neutral complex salts. Here you see cationic, anionic, and neutral complex salts. So what is cationic complex salt? The salt which dissociate to form cationic complex ion. The salt which can dissociate to form cationic complex ion, then it is called cationic complex salts. Example, cupromonium ion, cupromonium sulfate, it's an cationic complex salt. It can dissociate to form Cu NH3 4 times 2 plus SO4 2 minus. Here we are getting one simple ion and one complex ion. In that complex ion, it's having a positive charge, then it is called cationic complex salt. Those salts having an cationic complex ions, then we may call it as cationic complex salts. What are anionic complex salts? So example, K4FeCN6 potassium ferrocyanide or potassium ferricyanide. Okay, so it can dissociate to form 4K plus FeCN6 4 minus. This is called ferrocyanide ion. This ferrocyanide ion is anionic, means negative charged species. So those salts which can dissociate to form anionic complex ion, then those salts are called anionic complex salts. Now, so we will go for neutral complex salts. Neutral complex salt is nothing but what? Nickel tetracarbonyl, means those salts does not exhibit an what? Charge. So here nickel tetracarbonyl there, it is an what? The complex salt, it does not exhibit an charge, it does not having any charge. Why? The carbonyl group is an what? Neutral ligand, does not having charge. The sum of charge on metal ion and ligand should be 0, means nickel should be 0. Those salts does not exhibit an charge, then those salts are called neutral complex salt. One more example, iron pentacarbonyl. Iron pentacarbonyl. Yes, this is also neutral complex salts. Now, further they are classified into, those complex salts are also classified into two types that depend upon the type of ligands. On the basis of types of ligands, they are further classified into, one is homoleptic complex salts, homoleptic complex salts. The second one is heteroleptic complex salts. So what are homoleptic and heteroleptic complex salts? Homoleptic salts are nothing but complex salt is made up of by only one type of ligands. Only one type of ligands, then we may call it as homoleptic complex salts. Example all: cyprammonium sulfate, potassium ferrocyanide, nickel tetracarbonyl, iron pentacarbonyl. Those salts are called homoleptic. The reason is, so the cyprammonium sulfate, which is made up of by, you see, made up of by amine is a ligand. So all amines, I mean all are same only. All are made up of by only one type of ligand, then those salts are called homoleptic complex salt. In case of what, nickel tetracarbonyl, so here carbonyl is an what ligand, so all are carbonyl group only, hence it is called homoleptic. So what are heteroleptic complex salts? So those complex salts is made up of by two or more different types of ligands are called heteroleptic complex salt. Mean example PT, NH3 twice, Cl2. Diamine, two amines are there, diamine, dichloro, platinum complex salt. So here Cl is -1 into 2, -2, okay. So ammonia is an what? Neutral ligand, that is 0. So the total charge on the complex should be 0 here. So platinum should be +2. +2 -2, it should be 0. So the name of that complex salt, diamine, dichloro, diamine, dichloro, 2 chlorine. So transition element is what? Platinum, okay. So platinum 2, okay. So those salts which is made up of by two or more different ligands, two or more different types of ligands. Here you see ammonia is one type of ligand, chloride, that is an what? Another type of ligand, hence two different ligands are there, then those salts are called heteroleptic complex salts. So types of ligands. So ligands are classified on the basis of number of electron pair donating. So one is monodentate ligand, second one is bidentate ligand, next tridentate, and polydentate ligands. So what are monodentate, tridentate, bidentate and polydentate? So monodentate ligands are nothing but those ligands can donate only one pair of electrons. Those ligands can donate only one pair of electrons. are called monodentate ligands. Are those ligands having one ligating atom, only one ligating atom, then those ligands are called monodentate. So example, anionic monodentate ligands, that is chloride ion there. Okay, so as a ligand we may write it as what? Chloro or chlorido, Cl minus, Br minus there. Okay, then SO4 2 minus there, that is called sulfato. Commonly we may call it as what? Sulfate. Okay, so we may write it as what? Sulfato. NO2 minus there, that is called nitrito, etc. Then, so cationic monodentate ligands are NO plus, that is called nitrosonium ion. Then, so you go for neutral ligands, neutral monodentate ligands, that is H2O. As a ligand we may call it as aqua. H2O is in water, but as a ligand we may call it as aqua. So next is amine, that is NH3. NH3 is ammonia, but as a ligand we may call it amine. Okay, CO, it is an carbon monoxide, but as a ligand we may call it as carbonyl, etc. These are all monodentate ligands. So what is monodentate ligand? So those ligands can donate at least one pair of electron, then those ligands are called monodentate. Here chloride, it's having 3 lone pair of electrons are there, but it can donate one pair of electron, then it is called monodentate. But it is anionic. Why? The charge on the ligand is negative. So here sulfur there, it can donate on what? One pair of electron. Here either nitrogen or oxygen can donate on one pair of electrons. So here, so N can donate on what? One pair of electron, then it is on what? Monodentate. So here water it's having 2 lone pair there, but it can ready to donate only one pair of electron, so hence it is monodentate. Or those ligands having one ligating atom. I mean here 2 atoms are there in that ligand. It is an polyatomic made up of by oxygen and 2 hydrogen atom. Here only oxygen can donate a pair of electron. This is called ligating atom. What is the difference between ligand and ligating atom? So ligand is nothing but it can donate on one pair of electron, then it is called ligand. Ligating atom is nothing but, so in that ligand actually one which can donate a pair of electron, then that atom is called ligating atom. Here oxygen is ligating atom, but not hydrogen. Ligand is water. Okay, so here ammonia is a ligand, but ligating atom is nitrogen. Like that. So these are all, they can donate on only one pair of electron, then those ligands are called monodentate ligands. Now we'll go for bidentate ligands. What is bidentate ligand? One which can donate on 2 pair of electrons. Can donate 2 pair of electrons are called bidentate ligands, or the ligand having 2 ligating atoms. Now you see oxalate ion there, CO minus, CO minus. So here Oxygen is a ligating atom, it can donate one pair of electron. One more oxygen is there, so it can donate on one more pair of electron. So totally 4 oxygen atoms are there. So there are 2 oxygen atoms can donate on 2 pair of electron. Hence it is called bidentate ligand. The name of this compound is called oxalato. Oxalato. So, and one more is ethyl diamine. Ethylene diamine. So here CH2 there, CH2, that is ethylene group, diamine, NH2, NH2. So this we may abbreviated as EN, ethylene diamine, ethylene group, diamine. Here one of that nitrogen, it can donate on one pair of electron. This nitrogen can donate a pair of electron. Total it can donate how many pair of electron? 2 pair of electron. Hence this ligand is called bidentate ligand. Now we will go for tridentate ligand. What is tridentate ligand? Those ligands can donate on 3 pair of electrons. Those ligands can donate 3 pair of electrons, or those ligand having 3 ligating atoms, then we may call it as tridentate ligand. So here we wrote bidentate is ethylene diamine. Next, here example is diethylene triamine. It is an tridentate. Diethylene means there are 2 ethylene groups. Triamine, you see, between these 2 ethylene, one N there. So here, that is what? NH2, NH2. So to satisfy the valency, I have to write H. So this nitrogen can donate on 1 pair of electron. This nitrogen can donate 1 pair of electron. This nitrogen can donate 1 pair of electrons. So totally they can donate how many pair of electrons? 3 pair of electron. Hence it is called tridentate. Or there is a presence of what? 3 ligating atoms. Hence it is called tridentate ligand. Now, so the example for polydentate. What are polydentate ligands? Those ligands can donate 2 or 3 pair of electrons, are called polydentate ligands. Now we will go for EDTA, the most important example for examination, EDTA. So ethylene, E means ethylene, D means diamine, ethylene diamine, T means tetraacetate, or we may also write ethylene diamine triacetate also. So now you see ethylene, one ethylene group have to write ethylene, diamine means 2NH2, okay, tetraacetate. Tetraacetate is nothing but what? These 2 hydrogen atoms are replaced by 2 acetate groups. Acetate is CH3CO minus. We may write it CH2 COO minus. Okay, and one more acetate group, CH2 C double bond O minus. Now you see these 2 hydrogen atoms are replaced by 2 acetate groups, CH2 CO minus, and one more CH2 C double bond O minus. See here ethylene, diamine, 2 amines are there. Each amine can donate an what? I mean nitrogen atom of that amine can donate a pair of electron. This can donate one pair, this can donate one pair, two pairs there. So this oxalate group, oxygen can donate an one pair of electron, this oxalate can donate one pair of electron, this oxalate can donate an one pair of electron, this can donate an one pair of electrons. So totally 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 means we may call hexadentate. Hexa means 6 dentate. Those ligands can donate an 6 pair of electrons, then they are called hexadentate ligand. That is the example ethylene diamide tetraacetate. It is an polydentate. It can donate an more than 3 pair of electrons. Okay, then those ligands are called polydentate ligands. Now we will write one more EDTA. EDTA is nothing but what? Ethylene diamine triacetate also. Ethylene CH2CH2, okay, diamine NH2NH2, where 2 hydrogen atoms are replaced by CH2CO minus. Sorry. Then here CH2, C double bond O minus. So here CH2, then one more will write, sorry, only 3 means you have to write NH. Okay, so this nitrogen can donate one pair, this nitrogen can donate one pair, this oxygen can donate one pair, here it can donate one pair. Yes, so total it can donate 3 plus 3, so 2 plus 3, 5, hence it is called pentadentate ligand. Now let us see once again. Ligands are classified on the basis of number of electron pairs can be donated by ligands. So those ligands can donate and what different number of what pair of electrons. Then those ligands are monodentate, bidentate, tridentate and polydentate. Monodentate, mono means single, one which can donate and only one pair of what electrons. Those ligands having only one ligating atom, then they are called monodentate. Example here, chloradion. So here only one atom can donate a pair of electron, okay, but it can donate only one pair, then those ligands are called monodentate ligands. So in case of water also, so there are two different atoms are there, but here oxygen only it can donate a pair of electron, hence it is called monodentate ligand. It is a neutral ligand, aqua. So in case of amine also, it can donate only one pair of electron, hence it is called monodentate ligand. What are bidentate ligand? Those ligands can donate an 2 pair of electrons. In case of oxalate, there are 4 oxygen there. Among them 2 oxygen can donate an what? One pair, means totally it can donate 2 pair of electron, or 2 ligating atoms are there. Then it is called bidentate. What is ligating atom? One which can donate a pair of electron is called ligating atom. This is whole is ligand, but oxygen atoms are called ligating atoms. So here ethylene diamine also, there are 2 amine groups are there, so each can donate one pair, so it is an what? Bidentate ligand. Tridentate ligand is nothing but what? One which donate an 3 pair of electrons are called tridentate. Diethylene, 2 ethylene, triamine, 1, 2, 3. They can donate 3 pair, or there is a presence of what? 3 ligating atoms, then they are called tridentate ligands. Now, what is polydentate ligand? Polydentate ligand is nothing but what? Those ligands can donate 3 or more than that. Then they are called polydentate. Example, EDTA, ethylene diamine tetraacetate. This is most important for examination. They may ask that the structure of what? EDTA. Okay, so here ethylene group, diamine, 2 amine, tetraacetate, 1, 2, 3, 4. So each acetate having one only gating atom, there are two. So here also diacetate having 2 plus 2 amine 2. Totally it can donate 6 pair of electron. Hence it is called hexadentate. Like that, ethylene diamine triacetate. Ethylene diamine triacetate. 1, 2, 3 acetate groups. Now we'll go for Alfred Werner's theory. For formation of complex salts. So Alfred Werner, who prepared those complex salts, and he discussed about the characteristic features of those complex salts. Then what about the conductivity? So what about the melting point, what is the conductivity, and then whether they can exhibit color or not, whether they are paramagnetic or diamagnetic. Then, so what is the structure of those complex salts can be discussed by Alfred Werner. Okay. Now we will see, so what is the Alfred Werner's theory for formation of complex salts. So what he did now in earlier stage, so he took and what simple salts like cobalt chloride. So he was made to react with ammonia, that is what amine. So it forms an one complex salt. You see COCl3 is an what? A simple salt. See why? Because CO3 plus there plus 3Cl minus there, it can dissociate to form two simple ions, nothing but one cation and anion, then it is called simple salt. If that cobalt chloride is meant to react with what? Ammonia. So 6 ammonia, if we can get it on what? CONH3 6 times Cl3. Can get it? CONH3 6 times Cl3, this complex salt is obtained. When this complex salt, he don't know whether it can form like this or not. If this complex salt is formed, it is made to react with what? Silver nitrate. Finally, he will get it 3 AgCl, 3 mole of what AgCl which is obtained. Why the 3 mole of AgCl is obtained? So, if the cobalt chloride is made to react with what? Ammonia, it can form some complex salt. In that complex salt, there are two groups are there. One which is, write it within the square bracket, that is called coordination entity. That is called coordination entity. What is coordination entity? Coordination entity is nothing but what? It is made up of by metal ion and ligands. The ion which is outside of the coordination sphere, this is called coordination sphere. One which is present outside of the coordination sphere, or one which dissociate to give, I mean CONH3 6 times there, 3 plus 3Cl minus. One which dissociate to give simple ion there, I mean that simple ions, they are called counter ions. The simple ion which is obtained after the dissociation of what? A complex salt. The simple ion which is obtained after the dissociation of complex salt, then that ion is called counter ion. So this group is called coordination entity. This group is called coordination entity. That those groups which are kept within the square bracket, that is called coordination sphere. That is called coordination sphere. Okay. That coordination entity or the coordination sphere which is made up of by central metal atom or ion surrounded by ligands. So we'll see if that cobalt chloride which is made to react with what? COCl3 made to react with what? Ammonia. We may get it on compounds, that is what? CONH3 6 times Cl3, or by using 6 mole of what? Ammonia, or we may get it CONH3 NH3 5 times Cl Cl2. Okay, or we may get it CONH3 4 times Cl2 Cl, or we may get it the compound CONH3 thrice Cl3 like this. We can get it on different colored substances. So this is yellow, purple, maybe violet, green. Here you see, before the formation of those, it is an what? Simple salt, made up by one simple cation and one simple anion. When we made to react with amine, we can get it an complex salt. Why? So if the ammonia is a ligand, it can form one coordination entity. This is outside of the coordination sphere. So when this compound is made to react with what? Silver nitrate. So what happened? We can get it on what? 3 mole of AgCl can be precipitated. Why? The reason is it can dissociate to form CONH3 6 times 3 plus 3 Cl minus. There are 3 Cl there. All the 3 Cls are outside of the coordination sphere. They can form some simple ion. Those simple ions, it can react with what? Silver nitrate. We can get it on 3 mole of AgCl. Okay? Now, we can get it on what? One more complex ion. Leave it. So here you come. It can dissociate to form CONH3 5 times Cl plus, how many Cl minus are there? 2 Cl minus ions. Here the charge on that complex is, 2 Cl minus. Minus 1, 0, plus 3 means what? Plus 2. Here, when this compound is made to treated with what? AgNO3, only 2 Cl can precipitate in the form of what? AgCl. Why? There are 3 chloride ions are there. One is within the coordination sphere, 2 are outside of the coordination sphere. One which is outside of the coordination sphere can dissociate to form simple ion. One which is within the coordination sphere, it does not undergo dissociation. They are held by coordinate covalent bond. They are held by strong bonding. That does not undergo dissociation. Okay? It can form some complex salts. So another species which is outside of the coordination sphere, that is called counter ion. So only those counter ions can precipitate in the form of what? AgCl. Now here you see, so there is a formation of only one AgCl. Why? It can dissociate to form CONH3 4 times Cl2 plus 1 Cl minus. If the compound is made to treated with what? AgNO3, we can get it only one AgCl. Why? That Ag plus can react with what? Cl minus, we can get it on only 1 mole. Here we can get it 1 mole. Here 2 mole of AgCl can be precipitated. Here 3 mole of what? AgCl can be precipitated. So if this is the compound, it does not undergo dissociation. Why? There is no counter ions. Okay? Within the coordination sphere, those particle does not undergo dissociation. Hence, we may treated it at AgNO3, but we can't get it on AgCl because no more Cl outside of the coordination sphere. Now, so here the product is 0 mole. So they may ask the question, what is the percentage of precipitation of Cl in case of what? This complex salt? Hexamine, cobalt, 3 chloride. Hexa, 6, amine, cobalt. What is the oxidation number for that cobalt? 3. How? Cl is there, that is minus 1 into 3 minus 3. This is what? Plus 3. Ammonia is neutral. So already I told the charge on the complex ion, it depends upon the sum of charge on the metal ion and the ligand. So 0 become plus 3 when cobalt should be plus 3. Hexamine, cobalt 3. The species outside of the sphere is called chloride. This is called pentamine, 5-amine, pentamine, chloro, cobalt, 2-chloride, like that. So here the percentage of precipitation is what? 100%. Why? There are 3 chloride ions are there. All the 3 chloride can be precipitated. So 100% precipitation of what? Cl minus. It shows that all the 3 chlorides are outside of the coordination sphere. So this is what? 66.66 means out of 3 chloride only 2 chloride can precipitate. Hence the percentage of precipitation is what? 66.66. Why? One is within the coordination sphere, it does not undergo dissociation, it does not undergo ionization. One which is outside of the coordination sphere, it can dissociate to form ion. So out of 3, 2 can dissociate, those 2 can precipitate in the form of AgCl. Here you see the percentage of precipitation of chloride is 33.33. Why? Because there are 3 chlorides there. Among them, 2 are inside of the coordination sphere, 1 which is outside of the coordination sphere. This ion only can precipitate in the form of AgCl. So out of 3, 1 can precipitate nothing but what? The percentage of precipitation is 33. Here the percentage of precipitation is 0. Why? There are 3 there, but all the 3 are within the coordination sphere. It does not undergo dissociation. Hence the percentage of precipitation is 0. So far what he did, simple salt which is made to react with ammonia, he may get it, finally he may get it different moles of what? Precipitation of what? AgCl when we treated with AgNO3. It shows that a few of the chloride ions can be accumulated within the coordination sphere. Those ions which are accumulated within the coordination sphere, that does not undergo dissociation. Those ions which are outside of the coordination sphere, so they can undergo what? Dissociation. Okay. Now once again we see what is coordination entity. It is made up of by metal ion and ligand. That is called coordination entity. Or coordination sphere is nothing but those particles which are within the square bracket are called coordination sphere. So what is counter ion? The ion which is outside of the coordination sphere, or the particle which is outside of the coordination sphere, then it is called counter ion. Now we will go for the Alfred Werner theory for formation of what? Complex salts. What are the postulates of Alfred Werner's theory for formation of complex salt? So here the central metal atom or metal ion, central metal atom or metal ion having 2 types of valencies. One is primary valency and second one is secondary valency. Second point, the metal ion, the same metal ion or the metal atom having 2 types of valency, one is primary and secondary valency. So the second postulate is primary valency depend on charge on the metal ion. The primary valency depend upon the charge on the metal ion. Secondary valency depend on number of monodentate ligands surrounded the metal ion. Or number of coordinate covalent bonds formed by ligands. So the secondary valency depend upon the number of monodentate ligands, not all different ligands. Number of monodentate ligands surrounded the metal ion, or number of coordinate covalent bond formed by the ligands. Then it is called secondary valency. Example, if you go for cuproammonium sulfate, CuNH3 4 times SO4, you go for this. Okay, this complex salt can dissociate to form cuproammonium ion. We know that CuNH3 2 plus sulfate ion. So the complex ion is cuproammonium ion. In that center metal ion there and ligand is there. Okay, so what is the primary valency for this, and then what is the secondary valency for this? So in case of cuproammonium ion, the primary valency depend upon the charge on the metal ion. Who is metal ion here? Copper. Copper is a transition metal or transition metal ion. So ammonia is a ligand. So it is neutral. The charge on that complex salt, it is sum of charge on metal ion and ligand. It should be 2 plus, means it should be 2 plus. Charge on the metal ion is plus 2, means primary valency is 2. What is the secondary valency? So here, who is the ligand? Amine. How many ligands are surrounded? 4 ligands. 4 monodentate ligands are surrounded. R, nothing but, which is surrounded by 4 ligands. Those ligands, they can form how many coordinate covalent bonds? There are 4 coordinate covalent bonds. Why? Each can donate an 1 on pair. Okay? Those can donate at least 1 pair of electrons, then they are called ligands. There are 4 amines are there, 4 monodentate ligand, hence the coordination number is 4, R, which is made up of by 4 coordinate covalent bonds. In case of potassium ferrocyanide, K4FeCN6. You see, so here the complex ion is ferrocyanide, FeCN6 4 minus. Why? It can dissociate to form 4K plus and FeCN6 minus. So here the primary valency depend upon the charge on the metal ion. It is plus 2. Means 2. Why? Cyanide is minus 1 into 6, minus 6. The charge on the complex ion, it depend upon sum of those two, sum of metal ion and ligand. Minus 6 become minus 4, nothing but Fe should be plus 2. Primary valency is 2, but the secondary valency is 6. Why? Each metal ion is surrounded by 6 monodentate ligand. Cn is an what? Monodentate ligand. Fe2 plus, which is surrounded by 6 ligands. Cn minus. Those ligands are surrounded octahedrally. Okay? Yes. It is surrounded by 6 monodentate ligand, hence the secondary valency is 6, or it is made up of by 6 coordinate covalent bond, hence the secondary valency is 6. So if you go for potassium ferricyanide, K3FeCN6. So it can dissociate to form 3 plus, 3K plus and FeCN6 3 minus. So here you see Cn is minus 1 into 6 minus 6, it becomes 3 minus. How? Fe should be plus 3. This is called potassium ferricyanide. Why? Fe is plus 3. This is called ferrocyanide. Why? Fe is plus 2. Ferrocyanide ion. This is called ferricyanide ion. So here the primary valency is 3. Why? Charge on the metal ion is 3. Secondary valency is 6. Okay, why? Surrounded by 6 monodentate ligands, or it can form some 6 coordinate covalent bond. Now you see, during the formation of complex salt, according to Alfred Werner, the center metal atom having two types of valency. One is primary valency and secondary valency. Primary valency depend upon the charge on the metal ion. Primary valency for cuprammonium is 2. Why? Charge on the metal ion is 2. Secondary valency depend upon number of monodentate ligands surrounded at the metal ion. Amine is a monodentate, it can donate on one pair. How many? Monodentate 4. Hence secondary valency is 4. Potassium ferrocyanide. So here +2, that is charge on the metal ion is 2. Secondary valency is 6. Why? 6 monodentate. So here charge on the metal ion is 3. Primary valency is 3, but secondary valency is 6. Now, so the third postulate is primary valency is satisfied by negative ions or neutral molecules. So, sorry, the primary valency which is satisfied by only negative ions, secondary valency is satisfied by negative ions or neutral molecules. Yes. You see, in case of what cuprammonium ion, the primary valency is +2, which is satisfied by negative ions. So here, in case of that complex salt, this is +2, 0, +2, this is -2. The primary valency +2 is satisfied by 2 sulfate ions. Primary valency is satisfied by only negative ion, means +2 which is satisfied by 2 sulfate. The secondary valency is satisfied by negative ions or neutral molecules. You see, secondary valency for cuprammonium is 4, that is satisfied by 4 ammonia ligands, that is a neutral ligand. In case of potassium ferrocyanide, primary valency that is what +2, which is satisfied by only negative ion. Here you see K plus there, 4K plus there. So the primary valency should not be satisfied by cation, only by the anion. Who is anion here? Cyanides. The primary valency in case of FeCN6, 4 minus. See, primary valency is +2, which is satisfied by 2 cyanides. Secondary valency is 6. Secondary valency 6 is satisfied by 6 cyanides. Why? Secondary valency is satisfied by either negative ions or neutral molecule. Who is negative ion? Cyanide only. Secondary valency 6 is satisfied by 6 cyanides. Primary valency +2 is 2, which is satisfied by 2 cyanides. Here you see, there are only 6 cyanides, but 2 cyanide can satisfy primary valency, 6 can satisfy secondary valency. It shows that there is a presence of 8. So only 6 are there. In that primary 2 cyanides, they can satisfy both primary valency as well as secondary valency. The dotted line, it shows the primary valency. Primary valency is satisfied by 2 cyanides. Okay. Secondary valency which is satisfied by 6 cyanides. A thick lines, it shows that secondary valencies. Means these 2 cyanides, they can satisfy both primary as well as secondary valencies. Now the last point, that is shape of the molecule, geometrical shape of molecule ಅಥವಾ complex salt, depend on the secondary valency. Here you see, so in case of cuproammonium, there are 4 ligands are there. Okay, there are 4 ligands are there. Hence, it should be square planar. Cuproammonium ion is on square planar. White is square planar. Due to presence of what? 4 ligands. 4 ligands are the exact 4 corners of the square plane. Hence, it is called square planar structure. But it is wrong. So this postulate is wrong. Why? In some condition, there are 4 ligands are there. Secondary valency is 4, but it may exhibit even tetrahedral also in case of nickel tetracarbonyl. Nickel tetracarbonyl having an what? 4 ligands are there, 4 monodentate ligands are there, but it looks like a tetrahedral structure. Therefore, it is a wrong postulate of Werner's theory, but according to him, the geometrical shape of the complex salt is depend upon the secondary valency. Secondary valency is 4, means there are 4 ligands are at the 4 corners of the square plane, hence it is called square planar structure. Then, so in case of ferrocyanide, the secondary valency is 6. Why? 6 cyanides are there. They are at the 6 corners of the octahedral structure. Hence, the shape of that molecule is octahedral. It should be octahedral. There are 6 cyanides are there. 6 cyanides are at the 6 corners of the octahedral structure. Hence, the shape is called octahedral. Then, next one more is charge on complex ion. Charge on complex ion depend on sum of charge on ligand and metal ion. You see, so what is the charge of this complex ion? Cuproammonium ion. The sum of charge on metal ion and ligand. Ligand charge is 0. This is plus 2. Total sum should be plus 2. Ferrocyanide is 4 minus. Why? Plus 2 plus 6 minus means 4 minus. Charge on the complex ion it depends upon the sum of charge on metal ion and ligand. These are the postulates of Werner's theory. One is the central metal atom having 2 types of valency. One is primary and secondary valency. Primary valency depend upon charge on the metal ion. Secondary valency depend upon number of monodentate ligands surrounded the metal ion. So here primary valency is 2, secondary valency is 4, which is surrounded by 4 ligands. So in case of potassium ferrocyanide, primary valency is 2, why? Charge on the metal ion is 2, secondary valency is 6, which is surrounded by metal ion is surrounded by 6 cyanides. Primary valency is satisfied by negative ions. In case of cuproammonium sulfate, plus 2, which is satisfied by 2 minus of sulfate. Then secondary valency is satisfied by either negative or neutral. Here secondary valency is 4. There are 4 ligands are there. I mean secondary valency 4 is satisfied by 4 neutral ammonia molecules. In case of potassium ferrocyanide, primary valency is plus 2, satisfied by 2 cyanides, negative ions. Secondary valency 6, which is satisfied by 6 cyanide ions. Means here totally only 6 are there. Out of 6, 2 cyanides they can satisfy both primary valency and secondary valency. 6 cyanides, other 4 can satisfy only secondary valency. Therefore, 2 cyanides can satisfy primary valency, 6 cyanides can satisfy secondary valencies. Then the shape of complex salt it depends upon the secondary valency. Cuproammonium ion is square planar. Why the secondary valency is 4? But it is wrong. Some condition, even though secondary valency is 4, but it is tetrahedral. Then charge on the complex ion it depend upon sum of charge on ligand and metal ion. Charge on ligand is -6 + 2, then it should be 4-. Okay, that's all.